afternoon and welcome to Keep Indiana Learning's YouTube channel and various social media platforms. We are glad to have you today. I'm excited for what Mike is going to share with us this afternoon. There is a buried treasure waiting at the Keep Indiana Learning website that Mike's going to point out for us today. So, Mike, I am happy to have you. Mike is a graduate of Western Michigan University, Indiana University, and Johns Hopkins University. He's partnered with the Buck Institute, ICE, ISTE, FETC, CEL, Discovery Education, Region 8, ESC, obviously us here at Keep Indiana Learning at CIESC, along with various educational, governmental, and business organizations and presenting across the country. With over 40 years in education, Mike has spent over 30 of those in the classroom and later built a one-on-one laptop program, digital professional development, and PBL program for Southwest Allen County Schools near Fort Wayne. Mike has also served as a consultant for Discovery Education, ISTE, PBS, and November Learning. Mike was a national faculty member for PBL Works, part of the Buck Institute, an advisor for Tech and Learning Magazine. He's taught PBL courses online through Wilkes University, a tech integration course for the University of Evansville, and has written for 21st Century Ed Tech, and actually has a blog coming out for Keep Indiana Learning later this week. So most recently, Mike has overseen a large grant that provides free resources and PBL for STEM makers and PBL. And most of all, Mike enjoys introducing amazing educators and students to exciting educational transformation. So Mike, I'm excited about what you're going to share with us today. So why don't you take it away?
Marty, thank you very much. It's great to be here. I just, love being here in the state of Indiana and with all the people I've taught with for years and all that type of thing. Thank you for having me. I'm going to talk a little bit about PD. I'm calling it PD Your Way. And this is for individual schools or districts. And it's something that we have right now here at Keep Indiana Learning. And I'm really, really excited about it. And I hope you are too, because I think you're going to see some really cool things. Like I said, the last blog I wrote just was actually here at Keep Indiana Learning. And it kind of talks a little more about the program. But if you ever want to get in touch with me any other way, here's some information. And if I go too fast for you, you can always stop me and run it backwards. Marty already alluded to some of the partners that I've worked with across the country, and I've had a lot of fun doing that. It's always great working with educators. They're just amazing people. But most of all right now, it's just exciting to be here with Keep Indiana Learning. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about PD Your Way. And PD Your Way is 17 different courses, and we're adding and adding and adding all the time. So let me go through this, and the best thing that you're going to like about it, tell you what, I'll tell you about it as we go on. We're all into initiatives versus good practice. And sometimes I think schools have a tendency to go towards initiatives. And even though initiatives have good practices, we get so into the initiative that we lose the good practice. And so John Dewey, one of my favorites, said method means that arrangement of subject matters which makes it most effective in use. Never is method something outside of the material. Now, if you want, you could sit around and think about that one for a while, or you could go on with me and we'll talk a little bit about what I think John Dewey was saying here. Guess what? You're right. We all have initiatives. And I know all of you, it's like, okay, what's the flavor of the year this year? And will it be here next year? Okay. And so we run into initiatives, and some of you are probably doing something with deeper learning. PBL, which I've been involved with and worked with, in close to 40 states across the country, has always been a big one. Mastery learning is really, it's been there. It went away, and then it came back, and then it went away, and it started to come back again. Only they're trying to start to put a little more of a student ownership view of mastery learning now. STEM, which a lot of you are familiar with, big push across the country in the STEM areas. And I've actually got a course on it, and we'll show you that a little bit later here. I have a different look on STEM than most people. Of course, the 21st century skills, which are so important, is something that I think we all say we teach, but I question how much we assess them. And of course, we have the makerspace ideas out there, and blended learning, which was, guess what? We unblended it quite a bit about 2 years ago when we were mostly at home. Hopefully, we're getting back to blending, because I really feel like in blended learning, it's both the classroom and the outside of classroom experience. And we've got some units on that. Then there's so many others. Some of you've gone through Webb's Depth of Knowledge and the Sammer model and all of these types of things. Well, these are all initiatives, and you might want to think about some of the initiatives you have right now. And I have a feeling as I go through the courses here, you're going to look and say, wow, that course hits a corner of our initiatives. And so let's keep on going here. So what is PD Your Way? We've all sat in PD before, and it was kind of tailored just for the group. And we got this book that that they gave you, and it kind of possibly stayed with you or not. Not sure. And so as we go on here, I want to talk about the who, the what, the why, the how of this whole PD Your Way program. Okay. It concentrates on student learning. I'm not talking about teaching. I'm talking about student learning. Okay. Which to me is very, very, very important. It can crosswalk your initiatives. You will see some of the courses we have here, and they're all 8 hours long, and they give you 8 PGP credits. But the cool thing about it is they're going to go through your initiatives. You're going to say, yeah, we can use that, that, and that, because our initiatives call for those types of things. It's action-based. And the other thing that I really believe on is the deliverable, because it's something you can do in the classroom tomorrow, not someday when you have time. Okay. And best of all, there's some PGP credits. Maybe you need them, maybe you don't. If you don't need them, then maybe you can just go through the course faster. You don't have to spend the time with the deliverable or anything like that, because you just want the information. It's up to you. It's your way. So as we look at this, it's actually, that's saying 15 courses. Well, I just added 2 more courses today. So we will see what that looks like here a little bit. But remember I talked about these blocks, and I actually put together some publications about 5 years ago, and because somebody said to me, what are the things that are best practices in teachers? And I actually went through A through G: authentic learning, blended in technology, centered on the student, developmental and formative, okay, has endless inquiry, focused on connections, and grounded in standards. So as we look at these courses, that's what I'm really trying to emphasize. Well, who, first of all, made it possible? Well, we have a foundation up here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and the Schwab Foundation helped us develop all these courses with the generosity of funding. The Region 8 Educational Service Center started also with it, but then we started working also with Keep Indiana Learning and, of course, Central Indiana. Our 4 main writers all work together up here in the Fort Wayne area. My wife was one of them, and 2 others, Chris Riley and Laura Smith, and of course my wife Jane Gorman, and my name is Mike. Who else is involved? All of you, and I'm going to talk about that. Why did we do it? We felt that we needed to honor teacher time. After all, it's your schedule. It could be anytime, any place. If you want to set this summer and take an hour a week, you can do it. You can go on your back porch. You can go up to your cottage. You can go to your tent, wherever you want to go. Okay. It's totally based on your needs. Okay. You get to pick the courses. You decide, and you could get the 8 PGPs. It's nothing to it. Okay. But if you don't want to, you don't have to get the PGPs. It's totally up to you. It's productive. It's timely. The resources are supplied to you. They're all free. The actual course costs $5. That's it. We wanted to make it something that was affordable for teachers, whether their school wanted to do it or their school did not want to do it. And let me tell you, it cost us thousands to develop these courses, but we are really doing it for you. And we thought we would throw in that $5 fee to help us at least keep Canvas running, because that's what it runs on us for us. So something to think about. Okay, what is it? Well, first of all, it's asynchronous. You do it anytime, your time. There is no Zoom meeting that you suddenly have to meet and schedule and like that. It's totally your time. The topics are relevant. They're on a proven practice. They're classroom ready, and they're action based. That means you go out and you do it tomorrow. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. They have tech infusion in them. I believe in blended learning. They're very student centered. Okay. They're based on content and skills, which is very, very important. You know, we can do all of the things we want, but if we're not hitting the standards and the content and skills, I always say, why are we doing it? It goes across all subjects, all grade levels. And again, as I keep on saying, based on best practice. Well, so what are these 17 courses? Okay. And I'll talk about a little bit of them as we go on. I'm going to mention them a little bit in the end too. But sketchnoting, Makerspace, PBL Blend, which actually takes PBL and blended practices, a design thinking course for you. It's actually across the curriculum. I was going to say STEM, but you see, I believe STEM goes across the curriculum. STEM is a verb. And I'll talk a little bit about that STEM as a verb course. I've had so many schools that I've worked with, because I actually work with STEM across the country too. And I've had so many teachers say to me, well, I'm a language arts teacher. I'm not part of STEM. And my thing back to them, well, that's why STEM does not always have to be the nouns that they stand for. Okay. It can be the verbs. And you can take a course that will tell you what the S, the T, the E, and the M come out to when it's a verb. And it fits in every subject. I'm not going to tell you right now. I'm going to leave that up to you. Making thinking visible. It's in the bag. That's something where kids can actually do things at home. Student effectiveness, hacking writing, making thinking visible again. So we kind of really emphasize that. And so you can see there's more. I'm not going to talk about every one of them here, because I'm going to see them again in the end here. But I will say this top one, PBS. If you're not using the PBS learning media sources, you're missing out on thousands and thousands of dollars of free resources for your kids that can go right into your learning management systems and stuff. And we show you how to use it, where to use it, what's the best ways to use it in any type of multimedia. Choice boards something that's been one of our most popular courses. When we first opened it up, we had, I think we had close to 50, 60 teachers signing up just in the very beginning. Okay. And it gets into the whole things, whether it be an analog or digital. And you can see there's some other courses we have there. The two newest, and I'm really excited about this, is if you're really into inquiry-based learning, 5E lessons. And I'm not going to tell you the E's either. Okay. You have to take the course to figure those out, but it actually shows you how to build these and how they fit into STEM, but how they also fit into courses that are not STEM based. And my favorite, I just got done writing this, and I'll talk a little bit more about it, but it's a basic PBL course. Okay. And I call it PBL on the gold standards. And I'll mention that a little bit as we go on here, but those are the courses, and those two just got added today. I'm really excited about both of them. I just think for you STEM people, for you people who like the PBL, student authentic learning, it'll be possible. It'll be awesome for you. Now, how do we do this? Well, first of all, we use Canvas. You do not have to be a Canvas user. Okay. And if you're not, we pay the fee for the Canvas anyways. When you sign up for the course, you're just automatically enrolled and you're part of Canvas. We use Google Slides, which everybody has access to. We use YouTube videos, your internet browser, and of course the internet. And that's really what the tech is all about. And for the most time, it's pretty low bandwidth. Let's take a little tour of what we packed inside one of these courses as you look at Canvas. Okay. Well, first of all, there's a homepage, and that homepage kind of talks about everything the course is about, the learning targets, all those types of things. kind of get you up to date on just what's going to be in the course. Then as we go into here, you can also see your PGPs, all of those types of things. And then you get into your modules. And every course has I think there's one course that has 5 modules. And every module works off the same basis, okay? And let's take a closer look at that. There's an overview in it that talks about what you're to learn in that module. There's content with readings, webinars, videos, some Google Slides, some interactive links, and then there's discussions so that you can kind of reflect and maybe hear other people's reflections and give them some reflections. And then there's this ending of it, which is the deliverable. And all the deliverable is usually you get 2 little Google Slides and you put some information on it that will amount to what your action plan will be to bring into your classroom, your school, your district, depending on what your role is. Each module takes about 2 hours. Okay, so that's why we talk about 8 hours of those PGPs. Here's just the actual deliverable, what it looks like on the side there. You can see that's just the title of the whole deliverable. But then there's 2 slides there. That's from one teacher who put in their ideas and how they were going to take question formation technique and bring it to the classroom. If you haven't heard of question formation technique, it's something you gotta do. It is amazing. And then there's the caboose, the wrap up, the conclusion, all those types of things. That's where you fill out the survey, you claim your PGPs. And what we hope you do then is you say, you know something, I'm going to try a new course. That's all what it's about as you finish. And the biggest thing we hope you finish with is new knowledge and new things to do with your students. So that's kind of the who, what, why. That's how it works out. And we're just really, really excited about it. And I'm especially excited about introducing it right now because we got that summer coming up and you might want to jump into 1 or 2 of those. So as we take the tour, when you get into Keep Indiana Learning, you will actually go over to your menus and you will go into digital learning and you'll find the courses that are available. Or in fact, there we are right there. There is the actual link you can go to that will tell you exactly all the courses. Okay. And so as you do that, you can actually go into there, look at the 17 courses. And as we take that tour, this is what you see. So here's education protocols, expanding simulations, hacking the writing, in the bag. I talked about that already. Choice boards, which I said was very, very popular. The one thing that I'm really excited about is computational thinking. Whether you're a math teacher or not a math teacher, it really is some really good thinking. And if you're into STEM, design thinking, the whole thing of how you have to use design thinking in the classroom. And what I love about it is it shows design thinking in the language arts classroom, design thinking in the art classroom, all of those types of things. Of course, we have to look out for ourselves too. And there's that developing teacher agency. Okay. The making makers mainstream. I'm one of those people that I love makers, but we got to bring the standards into makers too. And I talk about how you can actually bring makers into your classroom and get that makers attitude. Now, I talked earlier about the Making Thinking Visible. This is an amazing course. It's got about 40 or 50 protocols in it that come out of Project Zero from Harvard University. And we really have to get kids thinking about what they're learning and reflecting. And then you can see that next course is metacognition. It's thinking about your thinking. So goes right with it. So you can even take some of these in a series almost. Here's your PBS Learning Media one, the multimodality. And the one I'm really excited about, project-based learning. And this is what I wrote this because I went around the country and I would do workshops on PBL. They were usually 3-day workshops. And some teachers just really did a great job with it. And others struggled a little bit. And what I was starting to learn was PBL is something that takes a while to get into and learn. And so this whole course is about taking the 7 essential elements that gold standards you find in PBL and how to bring them just into your lessons and into your classroom. You don't do a project. It gets you pumped and ready to do that. It gets you thinking about those gold standards found in PBL. And then you can get into some, we've got some other PBL courses that will take it the next step. I think this would be a great PBL course for a school that is getting ready to do some training on PBL. And they're just going to have all their teachers take it and pay for the teachers to do that, spend 8 hours. And I think it would really, really pay off. Sketchnoting, I talked about. STEM is a verb. And again, I'm not going to tell you what the STEM means. You got to take the course. And then this says coming soon, PBL Gold Standards, but it's there now. Just put it in today. And the other one I'm excited about is those 5E lessons. So what else can you do? Let's say we start looking at this and we say, okay, an individual can do it, but let's say you're a PD coordinator or you're a curriculum director. Why not have your whole school take the course? And they can even work with each other as they take it. It adds up in the end to 8 hours. It could be summertime PD and you actually pay a stipend for them to do it. It could be during the school year PD and maybe it lasts an hour after school for 8 weeks. Okay. And if you do something like that, you contact us at Keep Indiana Learning or contact me, and I've got my email in the end. We'll even do something where we can go in there and maybe add a book study in that and base it off of a book. Or I'd love to come into your school and do a Zoom session and expand with questions and answers on what they were learning on that. Or we have that ability to at Keep Indiana Learning. We have virtual coaches, so we can make that. And a keynote for training sessions, and we can do a lot of those types of things. So I think the cool thing about this is we've got this really inexpensive backbone, and then we can connect it to other things that can make it even more meaningful. And so something you might want to think about, whether you're a teacher, a department head, a curriculum coordinator, there are ways we can go with this that will really, really make it exciting for your school. So it's the Schwab Foundation, of course, Central Indiana, Keep Indiana Learning, and Region 8. It really is about this self-paced, on your time, asynchronous, 8 PGPs, $5, ideas for your classroom now, free open educational resources. And you can sign up as an individual, a team, a department. If you want to do a whole school or whatever, get with us at Keep Indiana Learning, and I'm sure we could set something up for you. And here's one of the things I like to say to people. If we can provide really inexpensive PD for you and provide these types of things, then sometimes you can take that PD money and give it in either teacher stipends or also for resources. If you're doing a maker's workshop, you know, I can tell you some of the things you might want to set up and do for makers to take the maker's course. And so you might want to think about those things. It just, to me, because I used to have to do in-services for a school up at Southwest Allen, or right outside of Fort Wayne. And I tell you what, my hardest thing was coming up with those PD ideas and then finding ways to budget it and make it possible, because we didn't have a whole lot of money to make all that possible. So your reflections as you think about this, you might just want to say, hey, what would I like to do? What's my next steps? And I encourage you to take some action. Take that next step, okay? You can see that's an older slide, 15 courses. I just said I put in 2 more today, 17. And I'm just really, really, really excited that you might partner with us on these, whether you're an individual, a total school, a district, whatever you want to do, and how we can even make it even stronger and more in depth, if you wish, by maybe partnering with you on some other things. So it's been an honor and a privilege to present to you here at Keep Indiana Learning. I just so happy to do some work back here in Indiana, back in my home state. And although, well, my home state is actually Michigan, but I've been in Indiana for, um, oh, close to 50 years, 45 years, something like that. So, as you look at this, you will see there's a QR code there. If you want to hold up your phone and look at some of those courses, go ahead. There's my email. There's the Keep Indiana Learning. Um, Feel free to contact any, and I'm sure Marty can even tell us a little more of how you can even get in touch with Central Indiana and the people at Keep Indiana Learning if you've got further interest in whatever.
Absolutely, Mike. Thank you
Marty?
so much. This was great information. And the fact that okay, so are there 17 courses now or 19 courses now?
It's 17 courses now.
Okay. I wasn't sure where we were with the 2 that got added today. So 17 courses available for $5 a piece. There is no better deal around for renewing your license, or like you said, just for learning. The Edu Protocols is one I clicked through the other day. Great information that is good to have, even if I don't get a PGP point for it. So much great content here. All right. So thank you, Mike, for your time. We are thrilled to have you as a part of Keep Indiana Learning and sharing this information. Like Mike said, you can reach out to us directly at the courses is courses.keepindianalearning.org. You can find us on Twitter at KeepInLearning, or if you want to email us, you can email us at keepindianalearning@ciesc.org. So, Mike, thank you for your time this afternoon, and look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you very much, and it was a pleasure.